Hello, and welcome to another episode of playing Crusader Kings 3 using the hardest possible rule set, starting as the Duke of Angria in 1178. The last episode, we faced some serious adversity as our ruler died completely unexpectedly in a joust at a grand tournament. I had not prepared for that, really hadn't even thought about who my successor, who I wanted them to be. We ended up here as Emperor Otto, who originally had only a 3-star education. His personality traits are okay at best. We faced some very tense moments early on when it looked like our empire might be taken over, that the Holy Roman Empire titles would go to someone else. We'd be forced to be a vassal. But we did manage to come through, and I think Emperor Otto has developed into a relatively strong character. He has a couple of sons here. They haven't had a lot of success educating his eldest son yet, but we'll see how they turn out. His wife's only 28. She's currently pregnant, so opportunity to have more children. At the end of last episode, we talked about that now that we have this county, we can wage some holy wars in northern Africa, particularly that we would attack this ruler to get a duchy of Sirte here that borders Egypt, Ghazi, and use our kingdom level holy war CB to take over Ghazi. I think that's still a sound plan, so let's think about that. I guess, can we attack? No, we cannot. Okay, so we cannot attack Egypt directly at the moment using our Holy War Kingdom CB. So we will attack this guy using Duchy CB. We do not have by the sword, so we only have one kingdom level Holy War CB at the moment. We recently got some attributes and innovation to increase the size of our army. Our army still is not yet at its maximum size, so we're going to continue to work on that. It's really a matter of having enough gold. You can see with even our army raised, we're making 78 gold, which is quite good under those circumstances. So hopefully Emperor Otto hangs around a while. He does have the strong trait, so that's a nice boost to his health. We could use him to engage in some serious conquest, make ourselves stronger, get more taxes. Our main concern here is Castile. It's governed by a scourge conqueror. Whenever he gets done attacking the Kingdom of England, we're going to see where he goes next. There are some other scourge conquerors here, though I think somewhat less threatening. I'm a bit concerned this guy might take the opportunity to attack us since he is at peace and we are now at war. I believe we'd be able to fight him off, but I'm not positive. Our culture is a bit of a mess because we actually do not have any domain in our current culture, which is Alsatian. We have our counties largely in this area, along with Cologne, Duchy of Thuringia, Duchy of Angria, while our culture is just located over here in Austria. So we're trying to build up Austria's development, even though we don't have any counties there in terms of our own domain. Curious what our succession looks like. Oh, right. Do we have the Kingdom of Lotharingia? Has that been created? Okay, we do. Okay. I think we just hand this out to all these tribal, not that one. Okay. So we'll have to hand these out a bit separately. Two tribal ones and then the feudal one. I'm kind of surprised that our brother, who was very young when the succession occurred, who got the Kingdom of Italy, has managed to hold on to it. They assumed he would be overthrown. Okay, we can't make the tournament in time, so no reason to worry about it. Let's see, okay, so this Scourge Conquerors are at war again. Oh wow. So this is quite good news. Oh no, I'm looking at the wrong person. Never mind. I clicked the wrong one. So nope, still bad news. Yeah, Castile does still have the Scourge Conqueror trait. Now he's already exalted warlord. Yep, so he'll be very challenging. I know it says it's inferior. I think that's optimistic. Let's see here what our hostile leader experience looks like. He does have bow, does have wit, no horse. I think let's go to it and just keep our fingers crossed that we do not die in the same way as our father. Once we're done with this tournament, we'll check in on what Castile is doing, and then after that make a decision about whether we want to attack Egypt. Interesting. Not that great, really. And went partly into Africa for the reason that we didn't have a lot of good claims on the surrounding Christian kingdoms. Another excellent female knight at the tournament. honest since it's a virtue. That would stress me out. Probably will hold a feast when we get back home. We could also do a grand tour, but we just don't have anywhere enough gold to do that. We are now in the late Middle Ages, so everything is horrifically expensive in terms of activities. That was a mistake. Should not have done that, given the amount of stress I already have. One of the populist uprisings from early in our reign that, again, really sort of a knife's edge as to whether we would survive it or not. So we'll keep that person in prison forever, basically, until he dies. Hopefully, do not gain another stress level, which could cause me to die. That would be very unfortunate. Probably arguments that you have just picked a negative stress trait instead, so this is a bit risky. I think, in retrospect, this was not the right course of action. I should have taken one of those stress traits. We will have to see how it plays out. As I said at the beginning of each series, not restarting or redoing any of my decisions. If I make mistakes, I will do my best to play through them. That's what we're going to have to do here. And we're back. Just had a game crash. So we will keep going here. Again, as soon as we get back to our capital, we will be holding a feast. Try to de-stress as much as possible. We are on the brink of having a very, very negative stress event. Get any more stress. Given what happened to our father, I'm paranoid about what would have happened if we would have tried to have him tell us a joke that could kill us. So instead of doing that, we'll do the feast. Again, we're now in the late Middle Ages, so everything is just incredibly expensive. See if we can sway anyone who is trying to rebel against us. Against this guy. hope the feast begins before anything happens that would give us more stress. Hopefully we significantly de-stress here, and then we'll take a look at our sons, see if there's anything we can do with them that would help improve their education. Interesting that that one seems to give them more gold. Contender isn't the best attribute, but wasn't too much else there to choose from. Okay, we want a maximum amount of stress loss. Reveler trait, so we can lose even more stress at feasts and weddings. That also causes us to lose some stress, so that's good. Also lose some stress, so let's see what we can do with our sons here. I think we'll hold off on him. See what sort of, quote unquote natural traits he gets. And then we could try to make him ambitious or something later on. So Castile has won its war against England. So he seems to be facing just a whole lot of wars. Is still a conqueror currently. Has the most annoying plague. Be interesting to see how he comes out of this. Again, if a scourge conqueror loses 3 wars, they lose the scourge conqueror trait. And that would be good for us. Let's make it easier to attack him and make it less likely he attacks us. Now the question becomes, how smart or dumb is it to attack this guy using our kingdom level CB? I think it's fair to say Castile is going to be wrapped up in all its wars for a little while. Baltic Empire, on the other hand, he's Catholic, okay. I'm concerned that once he finishes his war against Poland, he could turn and attack us. Poland looks to be having a lot of problems. I think let's hold on for a little while before we get into any more wars. Another very important dynasty legacy. Great, men-at-arms counter efficiency, more advantage. It's all good stuff. Try to make this while we're waiting to see the fallout of Baltic Empire's attack and what happens with Castile. If we don't make it and have to turn around, that's okay. To a court jester, given our issues with stress. Well, sort of unfortunate. We'll immediately break it off with her. Maybe it was worth stress it there. Probably have a secret now that someone will try to expose. Happy to accept some tribute, another 4 gold a month. Lifestyle experience, the greater amount specifically. Should be completely de-stressed after this, I hope. I think getting rid of stress is the best course there. Try to get the diplomacy perk. Did. Go up here to try to get room to rule. Sappers, which is another incredibly powerful perk. I think we've got most of what we want here. Scootage is actually very helpful. Let's try to go for primogeniture here. Obviously, we'd have to live to 72. Hopefully, Austria's development keeps increasing. And that's because Austria is where our Alsatian culture is, Alsatian. Let's actually change. Change where we're improving development. Try to get all those Alsatian counties up to higher levels of development. It's interesting that this Scourge Conqueror for the Baltic Empire is also just sort of chilling, not doing anything. That makes me a bit concerned about what his intentions are. What do we want to replace here? I think we may want to replace that, actually. Probably have enough gold now to go on a grand tour, so I'll likely do that. Another taxation tour to get even more gold. Just concerned about what this guy is planning. Scourge Conqueror of the Baltic Empire. We will make him temperate. Just an overall good trait, especially since it's a virtue. I think we'll pass on. It gives bow experience, which would be helpful. Still need that, bow and horse, but I think we're good, frankly. Again, just gun shy given our father's death. Still would not be able to get an anointment from the Pope. Guess we could try swaying him. He's relatively young. I think we'll go on our grand tour if it's not terribly expensive. Wow, we're not anywhere close to having enough gold. Okay, and we are in the late Middle Ages, so everything is just extraordinarily expensive. So Bogle Ural had, I guess this guy had been a Scourge Conqueror at one point, but must have lost the trait. Maybe he lost wars. We'll go this feast while we're waiting to see what the Baltic Empire Scourge Conqueror's next move is. The fact that he's just sitting here makes me worry that his next move is going to be to attack me. I think let's take a look at our buildings. See if we can squeeze a little more gold out of these. Also look into upgrading our armies here. We're going to get back to this feast. We'll take another look at attacking France. We should have our, I'm going to have our truce with. Castile is very close to losing at least one of these wars. Baltic Empire just sitting there, making me nervous. Option that gives us less stress. It's fully de-stressed. Just want to be cautious here, not put ourselves in a bad position if we're attacked by one of these surrounding scourge conquerors. Sometimes wondered what that sentence, if you can figure out exactly what they're paying for from that. I guess we could go give it a shot. Bow and horse. He's not holding a bow. He's holding a joust. I almost feel like I'd rather just attack France and see what these scourge conquerors do. So I think let's do that. Pass on the grand tournament. Again, if the scourge conquerors attack, we're not too far away. We'll be able to rush over there. If they don't attack, then arguably that's useful information about that perhaps they're not just waiting to attack me the way I think they are. Looks like France is fighting some other war. He's martial, zealous is good. Now see if we make him ambitious. Also see if we can make my oldest son ambitious. France is still fighting down there. Okay, at least he was a 4-star martial character. Let's see if we can find intelligent or genius wife for him. And there we go. If we get over significantly over 50% war score, then we will head down where the French armies are, attack them. It's probably faster to get the remaining war score through battle. Pass on helping our allies. Much like a scourge conqueror, my alliances are one-sided. generally don't help my allies, even if they've been helpful to me. Okay. That was also some useful data on how our army performed, which just really ran through a similarly sized force from France. Sure there's no plagues close to our capital. There's a quite terrible smallpox plague to our east, but not in our realm yet. Looks like this conqueror decided to attack Hungary. Castile is cleaning up, finishing up its wars. Doesn't look like he's going to lose the conqueror trait, so very concerning. Turns on us. Let's keep increasing the size of our armies. That we have maxed out our armies so far, so no longer have to put gold into creating them. Instead, focus on building more buildings, try to generate more gold, better support them, and allow us to fund our various endeavors. A little bit more gold from our vassals there. Okay. Oh, jeez. So I was looking toward fighting him. I mean, the issue here is this is a two-county duchy that's far away from our territory and close to his. I don't know that's what we really want to fight him over, frankly. I mean, I think the better course here is probably just let him have it. Do want to start doing is fabricating some claims along our border here with the Baltic Empire, because I might very well want to attack them. Yeah, I just don't think this is the place to fight Castile. Yeah, I think we'll just let him have it. The problem is going to be that we can't really supply anywhere there, so we'd have to raise our armies over here and just siege all the way there, which I don't think is a great idea. Frankly, I probably should be taking these grand tournaments, but again, just concerned about what happened to our father, his sudden death. So go ahead and surrender those two counties over there. Should give us a 5-year truce with them. Looks like the Baltic Empire may have just had a succession. So we have a truce with Castile. Baltic Empire had a succession. It's wrapped up in war with Hungary. These nomads over here are also wrapped up in a few different wars. I think now is our time to strike at Egypt, especially since he's also wrapped up in quite a few wars. So you can get a holy order. Yep, nice one. Again, sappers and engineered for destruction. We should be cutting through these quite quickly. Might notice that they're tribal, more specifically nomadic. That's part of playing on the hardest possible rule set. And the idea being that nomadic enemies are generally more annoying to fight against and take over. Okay, West Slavia is a Bogomilist, which I assume we can just use holy wars against them, so don't need claims. Okay, well, we'll turn our attention back to them after we are done in Egypt. Obviously not encountering much resistance yet. Again, for our daughter, we want to find someone who is intelligent or genius. Let's see if there's someone we could invite to our court. go. Educating this son as well. Again, we're making him, giving him a lifestyle focus against his preferences, so it could turn out poorly. I think we do want martial characters from here on out. After I get household guard, I have to think about whether we keep going down this martial lifestyle or does it make more sense to go down a different lifestyle because our realm is more than 160 counties. Our foreign enemies can attack our vassals. One thing I talked about, I think a couple episodes ago at this point, was I did not want to become administrative because there are weird interactions between acclamation succession and the Holy Roman princely elective title. But as you can see, we have 10,000 over, slightly over 10,500 prestige, which is what you need to clear the Holy Roman Empire from the princely elective title. And so once we are done here with Egypt, I think we're going to take a serious look at doing that and then becoming administrative. How many wars I'll have to fight once this war ends against other invaders. Okay. Looks like no wars. Feudalize these counties at massive expense. Does prevent them from creating nomadic warriors that will attack us. Also, we're going to want to keep Cairo since it has an amazing university in it. Just very powerful benefits. We are going to have to think about what we're going to do with our other domains, since that's likely going to put us at least perhaps more over the domain limit that I want to be. See if there's anyone in our dynasty who is not a ruler, who is an adult. Nope. Don't want to give any land to our sons yet. Instead, look to people of our culture. Ideally, people with good stewardship who will hopefully produce a lot of gold and taxes. disappointing when he's lowborn because of the penalties. For someone with at least a 3-star education. Let's see if anyone has a 4-star education to hold all of the titles in this quite large duchy. Not seeing anyone, so let's go with a 3-star education person. The Duchy of Cairo. So same thing here. Weigh these two counties individually. So neither one will be able to form the duchy in case I want to take the duchy title later. I will keep Cairo. I have a 7 of 5. That's not great, but it's tolerable. Get Cairo under control here. Feudalizing those holdings and making those titles costs us almost all of our gold. So take a little while and try to build up again. Just not sure if we fought Castile what the outcome would be. If we were to fight on our own territory with defensive bonuses, that would certainly help. We're going to increase our crown authority again. So we're not at war. So let's do what I discussed. Look at the Holy Roman Empire. We are going to clear the princely succession law at massive cost. What is preventing us from going administrative? I assume, okay, don't have the gold. Alright, well, that's clear enough then. We'll hold off on any other wars, try to get up to 3,000 gold. Now just sort of hanging out here, waiting to get gold to become administrative. Might as well go to this grand wedding in the meantime. Let's go stewardship now. Go with wealth focus. She can get his gold more quickly. go to our court. Take a look at our books. I guess we'll fund this inspiration. The real reason we're here, change this book to our stewardship book and continue on. And take the prestige since we've spent almost all of ours. Okay, not too surprising that they would all revolt. So we may have to put them down before we become administrative. Shouldn't be too difficult. They should all be concentrated in Egypt, this peasant rebellion. Let's take a look around at our neighboring scourge conquerors. I do think in the long run, administrative will help us generate more gold, more taxes, and it will give us access to more men-at-arms if we have to fight against Castile, which I'm assuming we will at some point. Probably whenever our truce is up with them. Check on our wards if there's anything we can do to help them in terms of improving their education. We'll wait for that rebellion to fire. Should it be happening at any moment. There it is. Probably split our armies here. Unfortunately, our second son only became a skilled tactician. So just 3-star. Current character start is a 3-star, so it's not the worst thing, but it's obviously would have been better if he'd have been a 4-star. Put our marshal on, making our men-at-arms as strong as possible for when we have to fight Castile. It's obviously unfortunate. That is really unfortunate. Okay, well, hopefully this character doesn't die. That was just my mistake. Should not have sent him into a plague-stricken area. Again, that's just dumb. Not what you should do. Should have sent a different commander with this army. Yep, so not much to say. If we die, it'll be purely from foolishness. Thankfully, we did not die. Okay, have to make him temperate, virtue, just all around good trait. As the end, the Egyptian rebellion. And we will now adopt a centralized bureaucracy. The first thing we will build is a book collection. Reason for that is to get down to this level here if we can, to increase our tutor aptitude, allow our children to get a rank 5 education trait. See, our treasury is doing quite well, but our monthly income is doing terribly. Reason for that is we are over our limit. Fix that a bit by destroying these trebuchets. And I think also our pikemen. What? That's quite odd. Moment, I just kind of want to take some time here. Okay, I'm the head of the dynasty again. That's good. It's appropriate. Sort of take some time to sort of let things get sorted out, so to speak, from the significant change in our government type. See what Castile is doing. You know, he has some. He already has fragile bones, some other traits, so. See how he happens with him over time. Okay, but hopefully at least we have taken a major step forward in increasing our power. Just have to see how this works out. But you know, with this major step, I think we'll call the episode here. Thanks again very much for joining me. Hope you will join me in future episodes. We'll see where this goes. See that we do have some quite powerful scourge conquerors around us. The Qing here, part of the Oga's faith. Seljuks they do have a scourge conqueror as well. Very large army. Mali's army is not quite as big, and then you know what has been our concern throughout most of this playthrough is Castile. We'll see about building up our provincial armies and then taking them on when the opportunity presents itself. That's for now. Thanks very much for watching, and goodbye.